Hey, what's up? So let's continue from the last time where we were building this application. So you can see over here, I kind of managed to run the container, and it totally reclaimed space of 462 megabytes. And you can see my repo is running now. That's good stuff. So the prompt, root, and then there's this number. It means everything's set up correctly. Harbor is working. Docker environment is correct. Main service is running. Interactive shell attached. You're inside the task container, and from here you're officially doing the task, not fighting tooling anymore, which is perfect. Now, what we're going to do, the big picture is your challenge to build a tool that parses a polyglot microservices monorepo with a Docker Compose to generate cross-service architecture diagram per language dependency graphs, graphics, artifacts, markdown overview, detect cycles and boundary violations, fail CI when violations exist, test verify node edges, report contents. We'll do it in the safe reviewers friendly steps, create a minimal example monorepo, Python plus node, write the architecture linter tool, Python emit architecture dot dot dependencies and architecture dot md, detect cycles, cross-service boundary violations, exit non-zero on violations, write deterministic tests, run Oracle plus terminal bench agents, and then zip and submit. So create the sample monorepo required. Now, they must be self-contained, these tasks that we're doing. We will be embedding a tiny fake polyglot repo inside the task, inside the container run. So we're gonna run, first of all, we're in the container, right? Um, if you look at ls, we kind of have Docker file, Docker compose, and a repo folder, but I'm gonna create a repo services and API, and then another thing that we could do is repo services worker. And the last thing what we can do is uh, MKP repo services and web. Repo Docker Compose YAML. So in the repo, so in the repo folder, there's a Docker Compose file, right? So what we want to do is we want to just make sure we got this thing. So that's done. After I create simple Python service API, so we create a Python service, cat repo services API app.py end of file, and then we import Flask, import requests, EOF end of file, and then we have worker. So we're going to create a simple Python service, and we're going to create a Python. So we're going to first create a sample Python service, which is called API, and we're going to create a sample Python service worker. So you can see import celery. This creates a boundary violation on purpose. Worker importing API. Create sample node service web. So um, here in the web index.js, we create cronst express, axios, and require. So this is JavaScript. Create the architecture tool. We're going to create a folder over here. So I'm just going to make sure. mkdr-p solution. And then we have nano solution architecture.py. Alright, so we have create this file. We created a solution folder, and then we have nano solution analyze. Um, not found. Nano command not found. Okay, we created the folder -p. If I look at in the repo, should be a solution folder. Then I said, okay, let me do nano, but okay, I'm not sure why that has happened. This is a container issue. You're exactly where you should be. Nothing is broken. Why is this? Container image is based on Python 3.11, and the image does not include nano or vim by default. So, um, command not found is expected fast and clean as fixed. Recommended to use cat eof redirection instead of an editor. This is how most CI containers work now. Anyway, inside the container root repo run. Okay, and we're just gonna use this one instead of nano now. It's kind of a big file, but file created, no editor needed, CI safe. So, yeah, so all of this, what in the world? This is gonna take forever, bro. Alright, alright, so, one other thing that I needed to see was, I don't know what I'm doing, bro. Maybe printf parse nodes. Okay, let's say cat. Um, ls solution. I mean, if I even do that, I have a problem. Cat. Let's see. I mean, I do have it till here. I mean, it looks good, bro. The formatting looked a little off, but now it looks good. I don't know why we have an emoji for no reason. So we're in the in the root. We're gonna create a solution solve. Let me once that's done, I'll walk me through. Okay, done. Next steps. What does CI mean? Continuous integration, plain terms, CI An automated system that runs your code exactly like a strict reviewer would every time you submit. Run the Docker environment, run your continuous integration. Build a Docker environment, run your tool solution, run the test and test, fail it immediately if your script crashes, required files aren't generated, cycles or boundary violations are wrong, if CI fails, no payment. CI fails, no payment. If CI passes, no. Your tool passes CI deterministically. What has to be expressed for this task? Your task description with all of the following parts. Docker compose YAML import. Then generate AI graph of this time. Cycle boundary violation of the codes. Clean the architecture. Do a certain node exists. Edge cases report contents. Already started perfectly with solution architecture.py. Solution solve. Um, Thanks for watching the REST API video on Free Code Camp, Nizam Faruqi. Hope you like that one. That was one of my favorite videos, actually, personally. So yeah. Coding, yeah, I'm kind of vibe coding, so thanks for tuning in. You have started perfectly with solution on the architecture.py. Nah, I don't know. Hmm. So we're gonna do a sanity check. And you should currently be inside the Harbor container to see this prompt. Basically, I'm in the Harbor container, you can see, right? And this is my container ID, this number right here. Okay. So verify the structure. If I type in the ls command, you'll see a couple of files like Docker file. You'll see the Docker compose YAML. You'll see the repo folder and the solution folder. In the solution file, you can verify. You can see over here, ls solution. Then you can see over here we got analyze architecture.py and solve.sh. If this kind of matches this structure, then we continue and phase test mandatory. No test is equal to auto fail even if logic is correct. Create test directory if not present. So we're going to create a test directory, making sure we're in the repo. So ls right here, ls solution. And I did that so that we can view whatever is in the solution, but we create a test directory right here. And we create a test file in the test directory. So test architecture.py is going to be a file inside that. We're going to use the normal convention that we're using. And these are just Python snippets. run test inside container. So we're going to pip install pytest, and we're going to run the test. Okay, run test inside container. Now we're going to use pytest-q. Okay, we got a one failed, one passed. We got two passed. If test failed, stop and tell me. So we got one fail and one pass. That's the problem here. Mm-hmm. 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 We're building some Python Django container service right now. So um, you can tune in. Feel free to ask me. Um, is this your server? Are you trying to deploy it? By the way, the microphone volume is very low. Okay, I'm trying to improve the quality. Let me see again. If test failed, stop it. The actual thing is that I'm talking a little lower because it's like 12:51. We're building some Python Django container service. I could talk a little louder, but yeah, I'm gonna try to speak a little louder just so that you can understand. But I'm mostly just debugging this problem right here. Okay, so we kind of had to have two tests pass, but I see one test failed and the other test passed. So you can see over here, right? Um, so where it all started was after running, the bash commands right here. So right here. So you can see all of this, and then it started failing. So yeah, what happened here? This failure is actually what we want to see if at this stage and the thing is broken is conceptually you are basically missing two required very normal fixes. I'll walk you through the cleanly and precisely. Uh, so we got one failed, one passed. You go, that's it. Mm, we're missing a dependency YAML. So your script imports YAML, but PyYAML is not installed in the container. So no module named YAML right here, right? So we don't have that module. Output's not created because the script crashed early. It never wrote the architecture dot file and the architecture.md file that we were supposed to write. The test failure is a symptom, not the real problem. So we'll install the required dependency the correct way. You must declare dependencies in the Docker environment, not ad hoc. So edit Docker file. You are currently in slash repo. Open the Docker file. So if I go here, the Docker file is right here. So we can use vim. So vi Docker file. Okay, vi is not defined as a command here. So the other one is nano, and I think nano is not going to be defined as a file as well. So yeah, try to run vi Docker file. Oh yeah, and if you guys want to join the community of coding cleverly, I would recommend checking out. Thank you for the update. Beautiful now. Yeah, you're beautiful as well. Um, so if you want to check out and support Coding Cleverly, I do have a Patreon page. So I think it's in the descriptions as well. If you go in the videos, should be in the descriptions. So if you go in the live video, what we're doing right now, and in here, there's the PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle. Okay. Um, and then we also have the buying a coffee and an official Patreon. So if you want any of these, you can do that. I might just add those links in the top, but yeah, those are some things you guys can check out. I'll just leave the option of Patreon here in the chat if you guys want to. Totally optional. But you guys can get a lot of good benefits in this as well. I do have a lot of exclusive content, videos. Um, I think I shared my buy me a coffee instead of Patreon, but you can go and check coding Patreon as well. So yeah. Anyways, what we have now is yeah. So what we have now is um this is a normal. These are slim containers, okay? In the slim container, your container simply doesn't have editors installed. We'll fix this clean, correct way using shell redirection. This is 100% acceptable. So you can use shell, how to use edit files without VI or nano. We'll use cat, and then we have those two angle brackets, and then EOF to overwrite files. So we're currently in the repo directory. Fix the Docker file. This is required. So yeah. So instead, remember in the Docker file, uh, we couldn't view it. Then cat Docker file, EOF, and then just include the pip install pyyaml and pytest. If I did that, it should override. Installs pyyaml fixes your error and installs pytest so tests work everywhere. And it helps keeps environment reproducible, required. And then now we verify Docker file contents. We can verify using um, cat command. So if we go back here, cat, and then we'll have Docker file. So yeah, we have pip run pip install pyyaml. This is going to make sure that the container does all of that. Now we have to rebuild the environment. So we're gonna have to exit the container. Okay. Now you can see over here we're exited out of the container. Um, Now you are back on Ubuntu. Inside this, um, we're gonna make sure so we're in the terminus polyglot compose architecture linter folder. We're gonna rebuild the harbor environment. So to rebuild the harbor environment, we run harbor tasks, start environment path, and then interactive. This should la you should we're just gonna this is gonna land back us this is gonna land us back into that container. Um, so once we're in that container, so you can see we're in the shell container now. And now we're gonna ensure outputs are always created. Open your Python file the same way. Analyze architecture.py safely. So yeah, we're gonna run um, this command. So solution analyze architecture.py. We're importing OS, sys, and YAML, and we're basically running these minimal tests. Minimal placeholder graph is. Now, would guarantee that files always exist, tests always pass, and later logic can be safely expanded safely. Now, since we're running these, so in the path, you can see os.path.join. We have two files that are being created, architecture.dot and architecture.md. I was referring to that before. Inside the container when we run pytest-q, command not found. Now it's not even working. It was working before, I don't know why. Um, wow, 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 wow. Okay, so I use Docker on my computer on the remote server. I have Coolify server, automatic deployment, and everything else is easy. Well, I like your setup. Um, but I've used Minikube. It's a local environment that you can use with WSL if you're especially on Windows, subsystem for Linux. It's a nice environment for like testing locally for labs and stuff. But yeah, I mean your deployment is also pretty useful, Coolify. If the pip doesn't run, yeah, your pip is not running is because uh, it might not be installed in your container properly. So go ahead and debug it. You might need to run the Docker file and add pip into it or Python so that it does create it before initializing that container. So I appreciate that you're following along. This is an excellent video to follow along, and we can try to build this application together. So yeah, so two small but very important things are happening. Once we fix them, you'll be what's exactly going wrong, and you know what you can understand from here is that I'm kind of like gonna short stop on 20 minutes, so I'm gonna try to see how much I can get covered within 20 minutes. Um, wire. So solution architecture of even notice this file inside the container you are at this one, but the solution directory was not mounted yet in the container session. However, only uploads solution after the container is running, so it doesn't exist yet. You must create it first. So we can confirm that the Docker image was not rebuilt with PyTest installed. So right now your Docker file changes exist on the host, but the running container was built before those changes. So PyTest and PyYAML are missing. Okay, so your Docker file changes exist on the host, but they were not implemented on the container. The correct fix is to first of all exit the container again because it wasn't really running. After that, you should now be back to this particular folder. I am in the terminus thing. Now, ensure Docker file is correct host machine. So if you look at the Docker cat, oops, man, which this is what I hate, man. There was so many. Okay, one shortcut is that clear. Okay, so let's ensure Docker file is correct host machine. So let's see. Oh, if I do an ls, I can't find the Docker here. So there's the terminus, but um, and maybe it could be somewhere else. But let's see where this Docker file is gonna be. Uh, we're gonna make sure we are uh, add it properly. Um, we're gonna ensure Docker file is correct. So yeah, uh, when I run cat Docker file, I get this. So no, you're not missing Docker. You're looking in the wrong direction. The Docker file is missing. Your project layout is basically polyglot. Compose environment Docker compose. Okay, okay, it's in the environment folder right here. So when you run this, so the project it fails because the Docker lives in the environment folder. This is the expected for a Harbor task. Harbor always looks into the environment folder. The correct command to run this now is to cat. Um, we're gonna use cat and then we're gonna run environment. So basically, what we're gonna do is copy and run like this from Python 3.11, and we're gonna run. You're making sure we got that one, and we also got this one. Okay, both outputs. If you want to double check them, what your environment doc must contain. Make sure it looks. Uh, so the Docker file should look something like this one, which it doesn't. So I'm gonna have to copy this one. Cat. Most people must know if you change the Docker file, you must rebuild the environment from the project root. Yeah, and one other thing is that we don't have nano or any of these, so the goal create override environment Docker. So with the exact context required was YAML works, PyTest works, GraphWiz works, Harbor environment builds cleanly, and terminal bench pass. Make sure you are in the project root. Um, and then inside that, if you don't see environment, so after that you create and override the Docker file. This is the command that you need to run. Um, so if we copy this command and clear the screen and just paste it here. Okay, so now this is gonna important rules. Don't use single, not the other one. Use EOF with quotes. Alright, cat that one. Alright. Um, no extra spaces before EOF. This overwrites the file. Well, that's what we want, and then verify the Docker file. If we verify the Docker file, we should have from Python 11 or 3.11 Slim version. So we just copy that. We have work directory is repo, run apt-get update, apt-get install, -y greph git, and remove rf, all of that list, run pip install pyml. So this is what you were mentioning, why my pip is not running. Um, Make sure you have it right like this. Even one line is missing, the task will fail. Hard reset darker. Okay. So yeah, where are we? Hard reset Docker, do not skip. Harbor does not auto rebuild, so we're gonna have to remove. It doesn't auto rebuild, so we have to use this same command over and over. We remove RFs, we prune any of the changes, and then total reclaimed space, you get a number of space size. Rebuild and enter the Harbor environment. So for the Harbor task start environment path, what we got is so we're gonna copy this one. Harbor task start environment. And we should land in the root container again. So while this is gonna run the container, let's see. Hope that pip started working for you. I don't know if people are even on the stream. If you guys are, throw in some comments. Can we reach goal for 26? Uh, Reach, I don't know, 50K subs, please, if that would work. It's been a long journey, honestly. Oh, we've started this channel back in 2020. Yeah, I mean, that's our goal. Okay, we're in the container. Um, Verify dependencies inside the container. Um, so we're gonna have to verify some of the dependencies inside the container. We can run commands similar like Um, this one, Python C import YAML print YAML. So it says OK. Okay. Import YAML print PyYAML OK. You can also check the PyTest version. Now I've built everything with the required stuff. So this container has a lot of stuff. Dot hyphen v graph was expected. We got a couple of things. Fix your solution file location. You hit this earlier. So in the solution file, so you could see over here, we have the solution. Oh, what are we? Solution does not exist. What is this, bro? All right, so let me see. I get this. Might be the last stream actually for me in this year. So, yeah. So, inside the Harbor container, you're currently here, and a repo contains this. This means Harbor. Copy the contents of the environment repo into repo. Your project with root with solution does is not a repo. Not an error. This correct rule very important. Repo runtime code under analysis microservices Docker compose a solution your submission. Harbor expects solution to exist at container root level. Right now, solution does not exist. That's why. Created the solution directory inside container. You're already inside the container. Run exactly this thing. I thought we ran that before. Maybe it deleted it because we deleted the container. Now verify um, forward slash. And we might see solution here and repo. Do we see that? Yeah, we see so many things, honestly. I don't know why. Um, should be in the container now. Um, create an analysis. Okay, solution. Inside the solution folder, we're going to create a piece of snippet here. Alright, so now we're gonna verify the solution file. So we have analyze and solve dot. I mean, that was the analyze architecture.py. And it kind of has all the sys im YAMLs and stuff. Analyze.py got solve.sh as well. Create solve.sh. However calls this. So we go and basically override it. And now also they're in run mode, which I see. Okay. So run the solution manually. Sanity check. So let's do a sanity check. I'm gonna run solution. Okay. So Python solution analyze.py ls output. Architecture.md and architecture.dot. Let's see those file stuff. So exit the container. Okay, I think it gave those files for us. Container exiting. Should be back in the linter. Yeah, we are. So now run harbor tests. Let's go and run the container again. Let it run fully. If it drops, you if it drops, you into a shell again, that's good. Then we're gonna, um, okay, it's good that it dropped us into a shell. We'll use the exit command again, and then we're out of the shell. Terminal bench on your host machine. On my on your host machine. Okay. Okay, I'll say I'm in step 7 on my host machine. Does it mean this one or my local command prompt? See. Okay. Uh Yeah, so we're making a container application that runs Python Django web app, and it's using Docker Compose, and it's also gonna just keep making sure that there's some dependencies, and I'm just like figuring out things, debugging it with Ubuntu. So yeah, right now we're just roughly doing stuff. Kind of learning experience as well when you're like stuck on problems. You can help get it automated and also leverage AI with it. Um, same thing, same thing he is doing. Good luck, bro. Keep working hard. Thanks, man. Please, what time is the stream ending? So I'm about to end it soon. If you want me to end sooner, let me know. I can end it quicker. But right now we're still in there. We'll give some time. But let me know. Right now, I'm just gonna um, pause this for now. But you guys want me to continue? I'll be continuing for just like 10 additional minutes or something. But then we can, pause for here. We're almost there. Like we're in the seventh or eighth step of this whole process. And after that, we're gonna make really good um, results. For those who are celebrating Christmas and other happy holidays for those. It's been a long year, honestly. I'm just going to. Yeah. Technology has changed a lot, honestly. With the, at the start of 2020 and now, it's been a lot of changes, honestly. Run alongside each other. Mhm, 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 mhm. So anyone in my subscribers who are watching, are they working? Are they students? I want to know, what are you guys mostly doing? Um, mhm, 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 mhm. Ah, okay, I don't know where the submissions is. There was a particular link. Send, send the review. I mean, come on, man. It was somewhere over here. Dashboard, start, instructions, review done. Okay, dashboard, home, submissions, start. Okay, we got UID. Is run on your host machine, Linux shell, Ubuntu would be not inside the not inside the not Windows CMD, so not the Docker command prompt, not the Windows command prompt. Let's go back to what we were doing. I don't know, I think we dropped some users, so let me go back to my screen so you guys can see that. Let's go ahead to the command prompt. So yeah, we're not running them on the Windows command prompt, and we're also not running in the Docker container prompt, but we're running, yes, the shell that looks like this one. This prompt means Ubuntu. That prompt means Ubuntu WSL, Docker available, hardware plus TB commands available. Let's map your screenshot up unless you showed this. Yes, this is the correct environment, but the output is not step 7 yet. The output just means hardware finished and cleaned up the containers, and you're now back into the whole shell. Terminal bench validation is completely separate from hardware. You must run TB commands from terminal bench checks required before upload. Run these exactly on the host machine. Do this once per shell. Okay. Okay. We're gonna have to provide some uh, commands as well. So yeah, I'm gonna have to filter something out here. Export OpenAI key. We're given a base URL and an OpenAPI key. Export base URL. API.port key. Confirm. If it prints something, good. See. Yeah, it prints something. Run terminal bench checks. So I'm gonna run. It should be that same key, no? It's something else. This is gonna take one or two. What this? Okay, so TB tasks don't work. Terminal bench is not installed on your host machine yet. I'll give you every step, but no guess what. Hardware install, you've been using it. Terminal bench not installed. Terminal bench is not inside Docker. Terminal must be installed on your host Ubuntu WSL, same place. You run hardware. This is very common and expected. Install terminal bench CLI here. So make sure pipx is installed. Safe installer. Sudo apt update 123. And then we have sudo apt install y pipx. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna show you guys what's happening so you guys can have a context. Enable pipx in path. Ensure path. Now it's in the path. All pipx binary directories have been added to your path. If you are sure you want to proceed, try again with the force flag. Uh, so after this, close and reopen your terminal or run. So we can just write this command. So um, pipx install terminal bench. Package to install the package terminal bench TB. Oh, it's gonna take some time, man. Thanks for the knowledge and you have put in me. God bless you. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. And yeah, hope you are also super successful. If you have any questions on programming or any kind of thing, please let me know. And also check out videos in the channel. There's so much content on development, so you can hopefully get good at programming and land a job and also start a career. So that's my goal. Terminal bench is installed. That's perfect. You can verify terminal bench using this command, which is called tb, and then we have help. I mean, you guys could also mention in the chat where you guys are talking from, which country, so I know. Uh, so we have terminal bench installed. Um, so you can see over here, these are the commands that are needed. Re-export environment variables. Now a new terminal session needs these again, so we're gonna have to give the environment variables again. For providing the environment variables, I'm gonna have to go and hide the screen for a moment, you know, so just one moment. So I'm gonna have to use the OpenAPI key that I was provided. Um, and then I'm also gonna be using the OpenAI base URL. Now, if I echo out the OpenAPI key, I get the key, run terminal bench checks. This is the real gate. So we're gonna run terminal bench chas check model, and we get this output error. But execution problem on your host, very common on the base of Ubuntu setups that will fix it cleanly and safely. This does not mean you're switching wrong. Your task is broken. Strong. It doesn't mean one of these corrupted TB binary and pipx file system issue. Dib is a pipx edge case. Fix follow. Pipx uninstall terminal bench. And terminal bench is causing an issue for no reason. I was thinking of uninstall. You hit a W file system level corruption. Um, Self is corrupted. It's not your fault. This is not related to your task. Install terminal bench in a clean and safe way. We're not gonna use pipx. Verify Python still works. So let's see. Why is it like adding so much ambiguity? So we're gonna make sure Python 3 works. Bro, everything is not working now. I think a better approach was just to turn off the Ubuntu. I could have just listened to that. Um, did I just break Ubuntu? Bro, what happened? Well, my Ubuntu is not turning on anymore. I think we can just pause it for now and then continue later on. So, yeah, so I'm gonna go into the, what's it called? It's final steps before we sign out. So Can you tell me how I can get land a remote job? Uh, it's not difficult. It's definitely possible. Just make a good online presence. I would recommend, have a good profile on GitHub and then start applying on different websites. Now, I have a website, um, and put your like online portfolio or website, have a resume or something on it. And then once you do, you can go ahead and start applying on LinkedIn and make your LinkedIn very strong. That's very important. One step here. The other step is also get your, we saw that implementing AI, we reduced operational costs and increased productivity by 20%. Some were optimized. Now have highly qualified talent doing the work of 5 engineers. So let's see. Let me make it clear, but keep the vibe. It doesn't even know. Actually. Okay, yeah, I would say just make sure your LinkedIn profiles are really optimized. Um, and after that, apply to jobs. Like, just go to jobs here. Another way is to go to Handshake and Indeed and apply there as well. What I don't like about this and is that it always makes me wanna. But one good thing about this um, portal is that we have so many jobs available, and you can just apply very simply. Software AI ML, okay? Apply and just submit. That's how easy it is to apply for jobs. Make a good resume and just start submitting. Front end UI UX designer, okay? Staff full stack software engineer front end. Go here. It says easy apply. We just click on this. We give your information, and then you say, okay, which city are you from? I'll just say I'm from Austin, okay? And then I'll go here, and I'm gonna give my resume. I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna give all my experience sections. I'm gonna give all my education history. I'm gonna accept most of these stuff like, male, Asian, um, I am not a protected veteran. No, I do not have a disability. Just give your name, give today's date. 25 is also ending now. And confirm all this stuff, and then go next, next, and I agree terms and conditions, and then work authorized. Now in the future require sponsorship. No. Are you worked by Deloitte? No. Okay. If you are a part-time, full-time, or fixed-term LinkedIn employee, please go to this application and apply via the internal jobs. Not applicable. Not applicable. Please provide your LinkedIn or Microsoft email address. Applicable. The LinkedIn or Microsoft. No. If required, would you like? Yes. I understand my application will be considered if I do not provide a resume or career profile at a time of confirm. I am super interested in this role. Okay. And then just say all of that, and we're submitting the application. Okay. So that's how we should submit applications. I hope this demo helps you guys. Um, all right. So yeah, thanks for watching the stream and looking forward to the next one.